France is seeing a tidal wave of COVID-19 infections with 208,000 cases reported over the past 24 hours, a new national and European record. The country has been breaking infection records repeatedly over the past few days, with Tuesday's 180,000 cases already the highest for a country in Europe, according to data on COVID Tracker. The situation in French hospitals was already worrying because of the Delta variant, with Omicron yet to have an impact. India reported 9,195 new COVID-19 cases in the last 24 hours on Wednesday, which is one of the highest one-day tallies in the last 80 days, the country's health ministry data showed. While more than half of India's adult population is fully vaccinated, hundreds of millions are still at risk. Doctors warned that if an Omicron-fueled third wave of infections hits the country, medical facilities could be overrun very quickly. The Indian capital of New Delhi issued a yellow alert on Tuesday in the wake of rising COVID-19 cases. A night curfew was introduced, and metro stations, restaurants and bars were operating at half capacity. The Omicron variant is spreading much faster than Delta in Alberta, with doubling times of just 2 to 3 days. Because of that, contact tracing case investigations for people working in continuing care and healthcare will be prioritized, and PCR testing capacity will be reserved for high-risk groups. Anyone with symptoms is asked to isolate and take a rapid test.
And my respect and appreciation for all of our healthcare workers goes out to each and every one of them. I also want to recognize the many Albertans who followed the rules and kept their gatherings small over the past week or so. Hard as it may have been to challenge our well-established plans, especially after missing out on traditional Christmas last year, I believe it will have made a difference. Even if it may be challenging to see that difference in the current rising case numbers that we have been seeing, the reality is that every little bit helps to limit the spread. And I want to thank people who have made sacrifices to do so during these holidays. By reducing the number of in-person social contacts that you have, you're helping to break the chains of transmission, and this is more important than ever, given how extremely transmissible the Omicron variant is.
We begin with the rapid spread of the Omicron COVID-19 variant and new measures to try and slow it down. With cases spiking, new restrictions will take effect in New Brunswick and Manitoba. In Manitoba, there are new capacity limits on public gatherings, and liquor sales will stop at 10 p.m. today. Canada officially surpassed 2 million COVID-19 infections, with cases surging like never before, while hospitals are bracing for potential impact.
We know we can't rely on some of the reports of Omicron being less severe. We know with the amount of transmission we're seeing, we're going to see that demand translating into increased demand on the healthcare system.
You shouldn't really just assume that next week, if the numbers of cases reported go down, that Omicron is gone.
In Israel, a trial has begun to see if a fourth dose of the COVID-19 vaccine can help vulnerable people against the virus. It comes as the vast majority of people in Africa are still waiting for their first dose.